Klay Thompson is one of the best three-point strikers in the world. In 12 years in the NBA, he scored 2,213 of 5,318 three-point shots. The percentage of its implementation is 41.6. Klay is also the league record holder for the number of three-pointers in one game. Against Chicago, 149-124, in 2018, he made 14 three-point shots out of 24. Although many critics had previously condemned Klay for his mistakes and did not consider him one of the best strikers in the NBA, but with this game, he proved to everyone that it was too early to write him off. Now Klay is 33 years old, and he will get into the top 10 of the best strikers on three-pointers anyway. Although in the beginning, he was an ordinary player, it was hard work and the desire to become the best that helped Thompson make history. Today we will talk about the top 10 truckers in the NBA. These players scored the most three-pointers in history, and they did it like real professionals. It will be interesting. Jamal Crawford opens the 10th place. Jamal was selected in the first round as the 8th overall pick in the 2000 NBA draft by the Cleveland Cavaliers, but was traded to the Chicago Bulls on the same day. He is known for the fact that 55 times in his career, he managed to score 4 points for one attack, a three-point throw with a violation by the opponent, plus a realized penalty. He is considered one of the best point guards in NBA history. He was voted the best 6th player in the NBA 3 times, and he shares this record with Lou Williams. After his first 4 seasons with the Chicago Bulls, Crawford was traded to the New York Knicks. On January 26, 2007, Jamal scored 52 points, scoring 16 penalties and 8 three-point shots in a row, but failed to reach Latrell Sprewell's team record, 9 three-point hits in a row. On November 21, 2008, Crawford was traded to the Golden State Warriors for heavy forward Al Harrington. Crawford is the only basketball player who scored 50 points per match, playing for 4 different NBA clubs: Chicago, New York, and Golden State, and Phoenix Suns. In addition, Jamal became the oldest player in history who scored 50 points or more in one game, 51 points at the age of 39, thus surpassing the record of Michael Jordan, 38 years old. On June 25, 2009, Crawford was traded to the Atlanta Hawks for AC Lowe and Speedy Claxton. Crawford became the best 6th player in the NBA in the 2009 to 2010 season, averaging 18 points, 3 assists, and 2.5 rebounds per game. On December 15, 2011, Crawford signed with the Portland Trail Blazers. The defender spent the 2011-12 season with 13.9 points, 3.2 assists, and 2.0 rebounds on average per match. On July 12, 2012, Crawford joined the Los Angeles Clippers as a free agent. On October 17, 2018, Crawford signed with the Phoenix Suns. In his 20-year career, Jamal has scored 2,221 three-point shots out of 6,379. Klay Thompson needs to score 9 more three-point shots to break that record. The percentage of shots made from behind the Crawford arc is 34.8. Jamal has been in 10th place for almost 10 years, and it is worthy of respect. The 9th place is occupied by one of the best players in the history of basketball, LeBron James. After skipping university, he was selected in the 2003 draft under the overall first number by the Cleveland Cavaliers team. He spent 7 seasons with Cleveland. In 2007, he led the team to its first finals in history, where the Cavaliers lost to the San Antonio Spurs, 0-4. 2 years later, Cleveland reached the Eastern Conference Finals, where they lost to the Orlando Magic. During his time with the Cavs, James became the most productive player in the club's history. After becoming a free agent in 2010, he decided to team up with U.S. national team partners Dwyane Wade and Chris Bosh as part of the Miami Heat. In 4 years as a member of the Heat, he won 2 NBA champion titles, 2 Finals Most Valuable Player titles, and twice the title of Most Valuable Player of the regular season. In the summer of 2014, after spending 4 seasons with Miami, he returned to the Cleveland Cavaliers, signing a 2-year contract. In the first season after the forward's return to his hometown club, the team reached the NBA Finals, where they lost in 6 games to the Golden State Warriors. In addition to his club career, he also played for the U.S. national team at 3 Olympic Games, where he won 2 gold and 1 bronze. He also took part in the 2006 World Championships, winning bronze. LeBron's personal record for the number of 3-pointers in a match is 9 out of 14 shots. Previously, the best result of a basketball player was 8 accurate long-range shots in the seasons 2008-09, 2013-14, and 2021-22. During his career, he scored 2,261 three-pointers out of 6,563. The percentage of its implementation is 34.5. Eighth place, Jason Terry. In 1999, Terry was selected by the Atlanta Hawks in the draft at number 10. In his debut season, Terry scored 8.1 points and 4.3 assists in 23 minutes of play. A year later, in the 2000 to 2001 season, Terry led the team in points, scoring an average of 19.7 per match, with a fairly good percentage of shots made. After 5 seasons spent in Atlanta, fate threw him to Dallas. At the beginning of the 2004 to 2005 season, Terry could not find his game in any way. His performance fell, and there was little sign of its growth. But by the end of the season, he finally joined the team, scoring 17.5 points in decisive meetings with 51% and 49% due to the three-point arc in the first serious match. During the season, Jason threw three-pointers with an accuracy of 42%. 103 out of 245. Despite the Jets' performance, the Mavs failed to make it to the conference finals this season, losing to Steve Nash's Phoenix with a score of 2-4 in the second round of the playoffs. On offense, Terry primarily relies on his speed and accuracy of the implementation of throws. He is one of the fastest players in the league and is an elite three-point sniper. He is considered a multi-line player because his accuracy can increase dramatically depending on the game. In individual defense, he is average, but has the ability to intercept, which often lead to rapid breakthroughs. During his career, Terry has scored 2,282 three-pointers out of 6,010. The percentage of his intuition is 38. Vince Carter is in 7th place. He was selected in the 1998 NBA draft by the Golden State Warriors and immediately traded to the Toronto Raptors. Also played for the New Jersey Nets, Orlando Magic, Phoenix Suns, Dallas Mavericks, Memphis Grizzlies, and Sacramento Kings. Olympic champion in 2000 as part of the U.S. national team. Cousin of basketball player Tracy McGrady, who for some time, 1998 to 2000, was a teammate of the Toronto Raptors. Sports nicknames are Vinsanity. In 2011, he became the 37th basketball player in NBA history to score 20,000 career points. In February 2017, he became the 5th player in the NBA to score 2,000 three-point shots in his career. He is one of the 3 leaders in the number of games played in the NBA. The NBA record holder for the number of seasons played, 22, and the only player in the history of the NBA who has played on the court in 4 decades. Vince has scored 2,293 pointers out of 6,168 in his career. The percentage of its implementation is 37.1. The 6th line is occupied by a person who does not waste time in vain, Damian Lillard. Lillard was selected in the 2012 NBA draft at pick 6 by the Portland Trail Blazers. In the first game of the season against the Los Angeles Lakers on October 31st, Lillard recorded 23 points and 11 assists, and joined Oscar Robertson and Allen Iverson as the only players in NBA history who managed to score at least 20 points and 10 assists in their NBA debut. In addition, his 11 assists were the highest for an NBA debutant since Jason Kidd, 11, in 1994, and the best in the history of the Trailblazers for a rookie in the first match. On January 11th, in a game against the Golden State Warriors, Lillard set his personal performance record by shooting 37 points in a match and setting a team record for 3 points per match among rookies. On March 8, 2013, in a game against the San Antonio Spurs, Lillard became the first rookie in NBA history to score 35 points, 9 assists, and 0 losses, since losses were added to the statistics in the 1978-1979 season, set a franchise record for three-pointers in one season, surpassing Damon Stoudemire's record of 181 three-pointers in the 2004-2005 season. During his 11-year career, Damian has already scored 2,387 three-pointers out of 6,410. The percentage of his realization is 37.2. The fifth line is Kyle Korver, who scored 2,453 pointers out of 5,715 during his career. In the 2003 NBA Draft, he was selected in the second round at number 51 by the New Jersey Nets, and then traded to the Philadelphia 76ers. On December 26, 2007, Korver was traded to the Utah Jazz for Gordon Giricek. In the summer of 2010, after becoming a free agent, he signed a 3-year contract with the Chicago Bulls. Before the start of the championship season 2021, the Bucks decided not to keep Korver in the squad. In the summer of 2021, Korver finished his career as a player and will begin his coaching career. He will join Steve Nash's staff in Brooklyn, where he will become a player development coach. Reggie Miller ranks 4th with us. During his 18-year career, he scored 2,563 pointers from 6,486 shots. The percentage of sales is 39.5. Miller was selected by the Indiana Pacers as the 11th overall pick in the first round of the 1987 NBA Draft. Fans were initially upset that the Pacers chose Miller over Newcastle, Indiana native Steve Alford. Miller wore jersey number 31 while playing for the Pacers, backing up defenseman John Long before becoming a major player. Miller earned a good reputation. He helped Indiana reach the playoffs for many years. After the Pacers traded Chuck Person in the 1992 offseason, Miller established himself as an excellent sniper. On November 28, 1992, he scored a record 57 points in a game with the Charlotte Hornets, winning by a score of 134-122. Miller scored 4 three-pointers from 11 attempts, 12 average shots from 18, and scored 21 free throws from 23. 6. The 57 points he scored were the second highest score in the NBA in the 1992-93 season. Only Michael Jordan scored more, 64 points, in a game against Orlando on January 16th, and still remain a team record for the Pacers. Miller is one of 4 Pacers players. The other 3 are Roger Brown, Mel Daniels, and George McGinnis, whose numbers were permanently assigned to them. This means that no one will ever play for the Pacers under the number 31 that belonged to Miller. 24. At the celebration of the Pacers' 40th anniversary in 2007, Reggie Miller was selected to the symbolic team of the club's best players. As a member of the U.S. national team, he became an Olympic champion in 1996. Twice, in 1994 and 2002, he played at the World Championships, became champion in 1994. On September 7, 2012, Miller was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. third place behind the bearded James Harden. In 14 years in the NBA, he scored 2,754 three-pointers out of 7,594. The percentage of sales is 36.3. Harden was selected in the 2009 draft at number 3 by the Oklahoma City Thunder. He became the first player selected in the draft by this team after it moved from Seattle to Oklahoma. Harden signed a contract with Oklahoma on July 12, 2009. As part of the team, he had the game number 13. After Harden refused to renew his contract with the Thunder, he was traded to the Houston Rockets, along with Daquan Cook, Cole Aldrich, Lazar Hayward for Kevin Martin and Jeremy Lamb, as well as the right to make 3 selections in the 2013 draft, 2 in the first round and 1 in the second. After Harden refused to renew his contract with the Thunder, he was traded to the Houston Rockets, along with Daquan Cook, Cole Aldrich, Lazar Hayward for Kevin Martin and Jeremy Lamb, as well as the right to make 3 selections in the 2013 draft, 2 in the first round and 1 in the second. I saved my number after the transition. In Harden's first season in Houston, the team reached the playoffs and fell in the first round to James's former club, Oklahoma. On April 2, 2015, in a winning game with the Sacramento Kings, the result of the match was 115-111. Harden updated his personal performance record by scoring 51 points. The previous record, 50 points, was set by Harden on March 19, 2015, in a match against the Denver Nuggets. Harden was also called up to the U.S. Olympic team for the London Games, along with Durant and Westbrook, where he won gold medals with the team. In 2013, he took part in the NBA All-Star Game for the first time, in his debut season for the Rockets. James Harden was officially recognized as the most valuable player of the National Basketball Association in the 2017-18 season. On March 3, 2021, the owner of the Rockets, Tillman Fertitta, after Harden's departure from the team, officially announced that in honor of his former player, the club would withdraw the 13th game number from circulation. Harden began growing his trademark beard in 2009 when, as he says, he became too lazy to shave. His famous beard was featured in songs and also became a print for t-shirts. The second place in our top is occupied by a man whose record for three-point hits was held for 10 years, Ray Allen. 2,973 hits from 7,429 three-point shots. This is really a super indicator. On June 26, 1996, Allen was selected number 5 in the NBA draft by the Minnesota Timberwolves and was immediately traded to the Milwaukee Bucks. He made his NBA debut on November 1, 1996, in a match against Philadelphia, in which he scored 13 points in 26 minutes of play. The peak of his career came at the Boston Celtics. On February 22, 2009, Allen broke Larry Bird's record for the most accurate penalty hits in a row. Allen scored 72 penalties in a row. In the first round of the 2009 playoffs against the Chicago Bulls, the first game was tough for Allen, and the Celtics lost by 2 points. But in the second game, Ray scored the decisive three-point shot at the end of regular time and finished the game with an impressive 30 points. In Game 6, Allen scored 51 points. As a result, the Celtics won the series in 7 games. In the semifinals of the conference, Ray met with former teammate and co-captain of the Seattle Supersonics, Rashard Lewis, but as rivals. After 4 games, with the score 2-2 in the series, his most productive game was 22 points in the second winning match. As a result, the Boston Celtics lost in a series of 7 matches and could not defend the championship title. On December 10, 2009, in a match against the Wizards, Ray scored 20,000 career points. On June 6, 2010, In the second game of the NBA Finals series against the Los Angeles Lakers, Ray Allen set a record for the most three-point shots scored in an NBA Finals game, making 8 accurate hits from behind the arc. In the same match, he broke the record of Michael Jordan and repeated the record of Scottie Pippen and Kenny Smith for the number of three-point shots made in half a game in the NBA Finals series, hitting the ring 7 times from long range in the first half of the game. Ray Allen has been a member of the Basketball Hall of Fame since 2018. I think you have already guessed who took first place. His name doesn't even need to be introduced. Stephen Curry is a living NBA legend. Now, I'm not going to list all his achievements, you already know everything. But I would like to analyze exactly Steph's style of play. In 14 years, Steph has scored 3,393 pointers out of 7,929. The percentage of implementation is 42.8. If you think that all Steph does in training is throw 3-pointers, then you are deeply mistaken. Curry is an artist and a genius, that is, 2 in 1. He is constantly looking for free space. These runs between the barriers show Steph's basketball intelligence. Constant movement without the ball is one of the main skills of any basketball player, and in this component, Steph surpasses even LeBron. This man changed basketball and made an invaluable contribution to its development. Although at first, this hard worker did not even reach the college team, but his hard work proved the opposite, that even if you do not have talent, you still have a chance to become a great, truly great player. This concludes our issue. I think you really liked it, and you will support this video with a like. Write in the comments about whom I forgot to mention and which categories you would like to see. See you again, bye.